My favorite question. Hi everyone, Leo Notenboom here for askleo.com. If you're not getting my emailed newsletter, Confident Computing, in your inbox every Tuesday, go visit askleo.com/newsletter and sign up today. Each week I share answers and questions and tips and tricks and who knows what else, so don't miss an issue. I want to share with you today what I, facetiously call my favorite question. It's probably not what you think it's going to be, but it does illustrate something that both frustrates me and makes my life easier. And honestly, you don't want my life to be easier. My favorite question? It doesn't work. I get it, it's not even a question, but I get this in so many different variations all the time. Why do I call it my favorite? Because there's nothing I can do. It saves me a tremendous amount of time because I have nothing to do. I can move on to the next question. That's not what you want to hear me say. If you ask me a question, you want me to answer it. If your question boils down to, it doesn't work, there's a good chance you're not going to get an answer. And it's not just me. Anybody who is somebody that you would reach out to and ask a question about your technology or heck, just about life, it doesn't work in whatever form you give it, isn't going to get you an answer. It's not certainly going to get you an answer that's going to be of any help. What you really want is something more detailed. So yes, I get it. Nobody asks me literally, it doesn't work. But what they do ask are variations that sound very, very similar. For example, my printer doesn't work. I've gotten that question. Or I can't print. Or attachments won't open. Or I can't log in. I can't log in is essentially, it doesn't work. Like I said, I get variations on this all the time. Now, like I said originally, this is facetious in the sense that I honestly don't want people to be asking me this question. It does save me a lot of time because I get to skip those questions, but that's not what I want to do. I want to answer the questions that you have, help you resolve the issues that you're facing. Now, there are a couple of different approaches that I take sometimes when I get this. If I've got the time and if I think there's hope, I will sometimes end up embarking on a very slow game of 20 questions where I will ask for more detail, get maybe one or two, ask for yet more, get maybe one or two, and so on until I finally get enough to understand what the question is and stand a chance of answering it. Or one of us, either the person asking the question or me, gives up in disgust for it taking so long. I'm sure it seems incredibly obvious to the person asking the "it doesn't work" question exactly what it is they're asking. But if I can't get it, there's nothing I can do. I click next and I move on. So what does it mean to get an answer? What does it mean to ask something other than "it doesn't work"? Well, there are a couple of things that you can start off with. First, tell me what software you're running. You'd be surprised at how often I don't get that. Remember, when you're running, for example, email, there are hundreds of different email providers, multiple different websites, dozens of different email programs that you could be using. I don't know what you're running unless you tell me. That applies to almost anything that you're asking a question about. What computer is it? Is it even a computer? I get a lot of mobile questions these days. What operating system? What version of Windows are you running? All those kinds of things. Second, include the full exact text of the error message you're getting. If you tell me that it says something like, and then a few words of your own choosing, yeah, that's helpful, kind of, but not really. There is often so much information encoded, if you will, in these error messages. And I totally get it. They are not obvious to you. That's the point. That's why I need it. Because given the obscure error messages, the error codes, the all sorts of bizarre words that you don't understand kind of messages, yeah, part of my job is to interpret that, to turn that into English. And honestly, when I get complete error messages along with the scenarios that cause them, it's very often that my answer is simply nothing more than me translating from techno speak into English and give you something that you can understand and then work with. Finally, number 3, tell me what you were doing. What caused this to happen? If it happened out of the blue while you were doing literally nothing, great, that's important for me to know. But if it happens at a specific time, or if you were trying to accomplish something, tell me step by step exactly what it was you were doing that caused this problem to happen. To the best of your ability. I get sometimes the error messages happen, you can't reproduce them, and you don't remember the exact steps. Do your best. Include the best information you can. As I said, I could go on, and I've got other articles that actually talk about exactly what information you should be providing when you ask a question. But I want to point out that this is so incredibly important, and I feel bad for, in a sense, wasting your time talking about this. But it is so incredibly important, and it's not just about me. This, as I said earlier, applies to anyone that you ask a technical question of. Please, please give them enough information so that we can actually help you. I hope that was helpful. For updates, for comments, for related links and more, visit askleo.com/18891. I'm Leo Notenboom. This is askleo.com. Thanks for watching.